So we're going to talk about body balance, and I see you all have powdered body balance sticks, which is great. Having it as great to use as a samples, and also fantastic for travel. We've traveled all around the world, and I'll tell you, at the beginning when there was only liquid bottles, we traveled with the suitcases full of bottles around the world because we so believed in the product. And I'll just give you a brief outline of the product. Some of you have heard us talk about it before, so I'm not going to talk about the story of Hillman's and how they started with, how they created body balance. It was really, for those of you new, it was really a result of a health challenge that Jerry Hillman had, and so Wayne Hillman figured out by simple trial and error this product. So this product is not necessarily scientifically designed. It's a trial and error of a loving husband. But apart from that, I'm going to leave that for maybe the next time if you need me to hear to talk about a story. What I want to say is this product's very simple. Is one, it's got 9 different seaweeds or sea vegetables, aloe vera and black cherry. So that's it. That's the ingredients. Now, what's the big deal about the seaweed is all the minerals that are in the ocean, they get absorbed by seaweed. We know that our main problem today is the mineral depletion of soils, right? And a lot of that gets washed in the sea, right? So the sea, especially where these seaweeds are harvested from, some of them are close to, closer to the poles. So it's a really mineral rich, and the seaweed has roots that attach them to the ground, but otherwise it doesn't absorb from the ground. It absorbs through the skin from the sea. It's got all the nutrients in the sea. So the very seaweed vegetables have very high nutrient density, far more than any land-based plants. And the other ingredient is the aloe vera. What we've learned over the years with aloe vera is that aloe vera has got a very special long-chain sugars, polysaccharides, that your body is also utilizing as in form of the cell-to-cell communication. So we need minerals and those particular saccharides for communication of cells. And so that's one important thing. And also the seaweed in itself has also those long-chain polysaccharides, such as fucoidan and others. And so together they provide the full spectrum of those saccharides. The other thing we also learned about aloe vera, and this is very high quality organic aloe vera, by the way. What we've learned about aloe vera is that aloe vera has helped carry a bit oxygen into bloodstream, because aloe vera is very high in oxygen. And second, what we've learned about aloe vera is that it helps absorption. Now, the way this product is made is just imagine a big tub, like with a vat. And in there is a slow-moving pedals. And so they put in there, a clean water, processed through reverse osmosis, so it's really pure. And then they reconstitute aloe vera powder and dry seaweed powder, because all that is made from dry seaweed. And as they reconstitute, and this is mixing slowly, they add honey for enzymes and cherry for the flavor. And as this is mixed slowly in the vat, it slowly starts to dissolve. So aloe vera and honey starts to dissolve the little bits of seaweed, so it's all dissolved. And because of that, it's highly absorbable. I remember reading some few years back that you can eat seaweed, but we are not capable of breaking it down to absorb it. The only people who can actually absorb seaweed is aloe vera, is Japanese. They have a special, a different bacteria in their digestive system with different DNA that can break down seaweed, and we cannot do that. We've had people eating lots of seaweed but still being mineral deficient because we got to test. We just happened to have it tested, and so we know that's true. But Japanese consume, especially on Okinawa, they consume up to a third of their quantity of food is seaweed, both raw, cooked in various different forms. And we also know that in Okinawa, they have the highest per capita centenarians, meaning people over 100 years old, highest per capita in the world. So there is something about that. And it's
25% of their diet is seaweed. That's probably a big part of it. Also, I did want to add to what you said about the aloe vera absorption. It actually literally helps carry minerals across the cell membrane. So that's what makes it so absorbable. And because Body Balance is in a liquid form, it doesn't have to go through a digestive process at all. It just basically gets absorbed into your bloodstream the moment you put it in your mouth through the mucous membranes. So it's very, very bioavailable.
You'll notice if you hold Body Balance in your mouth for 30 seconds, all the flavors dissipate from it. It's starting to be absorbed. So
maybe a little bit about what it's done for us.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good thing to share. I mean, we could talk all day about the features. We've been using Body Balance for 27 plus years, and we've had great results ourselves over time, myself especially at the beginning, and also what it's done for us over those years as well too, not just the very first time we took it. But what's made it so profound is just seeing the thousands of other people that have had such amazing results, even though it is such a simple product. It's been an incredible product to work with over all these years. Always generates some kind of result for the people who use it. So maybe I'll just touch a little bit on my story with Body Balance, because interestingly enough, when I first got introduced to Body Balance, I'd been 2 years in recovery from a very bizarre health crisis where I think I was about 35 at the time, and we were living in a very pristine environment, growing all our own food organically. We were both very fit and healthy, doing yoga, karate, running. So I would have said about myself at that time that I was in prime fitness and health. However, suddenly I got sick and got progressively sick. It was a very painful, unpleasant experience. Couldn't eat, was throwing up. Anyway, one thing led to another, and I finally got who's never been that into doctors or never needed them, got taken to a doctor, and unfortunately that doctor took a stab in the dark and misdiagnosed me. So the medication that he prescribed me, as we found out later, compounded the problem rather than fixed it. So as a result of that medication, which was an anti-inflammatory injection, I pretty much that night ended up in a coma and was flown to Nelson Hospital. And I was in that coma for a couple of weeks while they tried to figure out what was going on. Anyway, it's a long story, but I'll try to shorten it. When they finally figured out what was going on and how to address it, I came out of the coma, but I was still very, very compromised. I couldn't remember anything. I couldn't walk. I had no energy. I was in a very, very bad way. And for the first time ever, I started being given, because I wasn't really able to think or do anything much for myself, I was given supplements because I'd never taken supplements before. I'd never thought that I needed supplements. So I started taking about 9 different kinds of supplements, but they didn't seem to do much, and I kept getting relapses of this thing. Something called, if you're interested in the name of it, it's acute intermittent porphyria, and it's quite a rare condition. It's a hereditary condition. It's not degenerative as such, but once you start having it, it's really hard to not keep getting relapses, and it's a pretty awful thing to have. So I kept having relapses and being rehospitalized, and yeah, it just went on and on for a couple of years until Krista showed up in our lives. Krista and Michael came to visit that summer, and they had just been introduced to Body Balance in the United States and were having amazing results with it. And Krista basically said, I think you could just take this and stop taking all those other supplements and have a much better result. And I started taking Body Balance. A couple of weeks, I could feel it was making a difference to my energy levels, and within a few months I was back on my feet again, fully functional, and never had another relapse, which is unusual of that particular condition. And I've just gone from strength to strength and feel like, yeah, never looked back. It was incredible. I have a sibling who got diagnosed with the same thing, and she's never taken Body Balance, and she's nearly 60. She's still having relapses on a regular basis. So I don't know what it is about family. Don't want to listen to you sometimes. And I just think if she was on Body Balance, she wouldn't be having those issues. So anyway, for me, it's been a profound experience. And there's many other things I could talk about over the last 27 years in the positive ways that Body Balance has affected me. But what's more profound for me is having seen so many other people have great results with this product.
Yeah, I want to address a little bit the 90 for life. You know how Dr. Wallach is recommending everybody to have 90 for life. And what we have in our BTT and in other products is it's really packed with nutrition. Now, Body Balance is a little different, but it still fits into that 90 for life category because it's got the minerals in there. But besides minerals, there are, in small quantities, we have all the 90 nutrients in there. So that's why we've taken just Body Balance in the past. That's why it's been so potent and had such amazing results. And literally, sometimes you have results that matter of 2-3 days. It just depends on what the issues are for people. So, you know, some people say, oh, should I take it instead of other products? Well, my recommendation is to take it with other products. The amazing thing about aloe vera and Body Balance in particular, it seems to help. It helps the absorption of whatever else you take. And the reason we know that is because people on medications have been warned that once they get on Body Balance to keep an eye on the medication because they may be taking too much. And so we've had doctors, you know, with blood tests, we had them, we've observed with people on Body Balance in their medication, the doctors tell them, oh, you have too much medication in your blood, we need to reduce it. And that's because the Body Balance helps absorbing much more of it than you would otherwise get. And so it's the same with all the nutrients. So when, you know, so if you say using BTT, which I take BTT once a day, and the rest of the time I take Body Balance, and I can tell you that I believe that it absorbs more, you know, from what I would otherwise get. Yeah? So that's just one thing. The other thing I also want to address with Body Balance is because of liquid organic minerals and aloe vera, not only are they nourishing your body, they also help you eliminate it. Because then the aloe vera takes minerals straight into the cell. Once the minerals have been used on the way out, they also cleanse the cell. So Body Balance has the cleansing effect.
Well, I can just speak for myself, because when I had those original health issues, one of the things that got done at that time was test to check, you know, whether I had heavy metals toxicity or what my levels of nutrients were in my system. And what showed up in those tests is that, one, I was chronically depleted in 3 different minerals: calcium, boron, and another one I can't remember it from that time. the other thing was that I showed up with higher than healthy levels of mercury and lead and cadmium. Not hugely toxic, but enough to maybe flip me in that direction of ill health. I didn't have any tests done for many years, but at some point further down the road, maybe 15 years later, I had some tests done again to see what my levels of toxicity were, and all of those heavy metals had gone out of my system. So to me, that showed me how body balance, and I know particularly the seaweeds, have drawn heavy metals out of my system. So really amazing for reducing heavy metal toxicity in the body, just in a very slow, gentle detoxing over time. It's not, I mean, some people when they first take Body Balance will have a detox response to it, but it's a very gentle detoxing process. That's what I love about it. Doesn't throw people into massive detox and discomfort, which some detoxing programs do. It's just something that happens gently and naturally over time. And also my other levels of nutrients that I was very depleted in have come up as well too. So I know that my body's getting what it needs, and it's detoxing on a daily basis with Body Balance.
And, we also have other products in Life Force. We have very high quality liquid calcium product, calcium, magnesium.
OsteoPro.
It's called OsteoPro Care. It's in a different form to the ones that we already have in longevity. The difference is that it's calcium orotate. Orotate is absorbed differently, and some people believe that it's the highest absorption rate of calcium when you have it in orotate form. Same with magnesium. It's got a lot more magnesium. So when you take, if you take OsteoPro Care, you got to be careful, because it's got a lot of magnesium and it can cause the diarrhea. So you start slowly. So that's another product that we take together, which rounds up the 94 Life.
Apart from the essential fatty acids,
which are in Body Balance in
this certain amount,
in small quantity, because
we totally believe in the ultimate EFAs that Longevity's got.
Yeah.
Fantastic product. I mean, all the longevity products are off the charts, amazing. There's no doubt about it. There is really no competition, but I think these products, I think the Life Force products really dovetail beautifully with the longevity ones if you use them in the right ways.
And, sometimes you have customers which they say, oh, it's just hassle dealing with all the powders and mixing this product and taking that one. So in those cases, we tell them, look, the amazing thing with Body Balance, it's one drink once a day and you're done. First thing in the morning. And especially for men, they really like that, because it's simple and it's once a day. And after they've been on it for a while, then we can introduce other products. And also what we find is people who are on Body Balance, after a while, they start liking it. And they say, feel like having something, and they'll go in the fridge, oh yeah, Body Balance. We found a lot of people have reduced their cravings for sugars and other junk food. And at the same time, they would drink more Body Balance. So
children love it. It's great for children.
Yeah,
and the elderly.
We had this situation, but one day I was just having a joke when somebody I told a joke to somebody, because they were giving Body Balance to this little kid. You couldn't speak yet. I said, well, you be careful, because he'll probably like it, and then you're gonna have him stand in front of the fridge, pointing at the fridge, and then when you open the door, point to the Body Balance. I said that as a joke, but about a week later, the lady that I told her called me and said, you wouldn't believe me, the little boy is standing in front of the fridge, and I opened the door, he points to the Body Balance and wants more. Every day he was asking for it. And that's unusual for children, especially little toddlers, because they can be very picky, and they won't like spinach and those things, but they will have Body Balance. So kids love it. And those who take it, they don't usually get the flu.
Yeah, they don't come home with childhood, illnesses from school. And spread it around the family. It's been great. We've got many what we call body balance babies whose mums were on body balance all through the pregnancy. It's a very safe product for pregnant women. And I mean, I'm sure that there's a lot of stories like this in longevity too, when the mum gets the right nutrients, how incredible the babies are, very calm, very, and if mum and dad are taking it too, any kind of really great nutritional product, they handle new parenthood a lot better. Everybody's sleeping better. Babies are just way ahead of the game, really when as they grow up, a lot of them, especially if they stay on body balance, they're way ahead of their peers in terms of their mental capacity. And it is incredible what children are like when the parents have been using these nutritional products, and especially if they stay on them from birth, the children. It's an incredible thing for kids.
Yeah, there's actually a birthing clinic or fertility clinic in Melbourne. Those in Melbourne probably know about that, but they use body balance as part of the program for the increased fertility, and they always put both husband and wife on body balance, and generally within 3 months they have success. So and they added body balance to the other program, but they've noticed that since they've been using body balance, they've had much more consistent result. And they've had it now for a number of years.
And really fantastic for hormonal issues too, especially for women. That was one of the spin-offs for me, positive spin-offs of being on body balance, is that my premenstrual issues that I'd been having up until the time I had body balance, they just stopped. I stopped having premenstrual problems. And then just about every woman that I know of who went through menopause on body balance, no menopausal issues, none of the hot flushes, the feeling like you're losing the plot. I had just no menopausal issues whatsoever going through that time. And I don't know a single woman who went through menopause on body balance or got onto body balance later on when they found out about it, when they were having challenges with menopause, having amazing results with body balance, just bringing those hormonal levels into balance.
Yeah, we also had amazing results at people on chemotherapy. They usually lose hair and they have no energy. It's very tough on the body. And so we notice people on body balance, and they usually will take 2 bottles a week. That's eight a month. And when they do that on chemo, they find that they don't lose their hair, and they don't go into this energy slump. They have the normal energy, like, they go through it quite easy compared to people who don't take it.
Yeah, I think it's the seaweeds, because seaweed is really, all the nutrients are fantastic against the effects of chemo, but also anybody that's taking on radiation therapy of any kind, I know for a fact that seaweed is it's what happens when anybody goes into hospital with radiation poisoning. They often give them seaweed or iodine, because it's quite high in iodine, to reduce that issue. So I know for a fact it's just very supportive of people who are undergoing any kind of treatment of that kind.
Yes. So now,
does body balance help with weight loss?
Yes.
Yes, a lot of people that have come into Life Force over time, there's a lot of people who want to lose weight, of course, and both Life Force and Longevity have weight loss programs. However, we always got people on body balance, just body balance on its own, because often that would bring about weight loss just in a natural way without too much effort. And the reason it works like that is, one, you're putting all the right nutrients into your body, so your body's not craving something that you're not consciously aware of, which is one reason why people overeat. It's because the body is starved of nutrients. So that starts to change your whole feeling about what to eat, how much and when, that just naturally happens, then people who are on Body Balance generally feel a lot more energy, more positive about life. Things shift and change emotionally for people when they're on Body Balance. So eating for all the wrong emotional reasons can be sidestepped. And it's not because it's a weight loss product as such. It just brings this about in a natural way over time, just by changing eating habits in an organic way, and also bringing up energy levels and positive mindsets. Everyone?
No, that's
Yeah,
good.
that's how it works.
Got one more question?
Yep.
How do you handle people who are allergic to, or say they are allergic to iodine?
It's very simple. Most of the allergies, when people have allergy, they would have if it's proper allergy, they'll have an anaphylactic shock. So what we do is, it's potentially dangerous. So what we do is you put some Body Balance a little bit on the cotton, like a cotton wool, and tape it on inside elbow. Leave it there for a day. And if somebody is allergic, they'll react. But it's not going to be enough for them to have anaphylactic shock. Yeah, it'll be red, maybe bubble up a little bit. And because a lot of times people think they have an allergy where they have really just an intolerance. And when we have issues with intolerance, what we say to people is start with this teaspoon. And then you increase. Start with a teaspoon a day. 2 days later, 2 teaspoons, and you increase it until you get to, glass full. And that way the intolerance will disappear.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
also, iodine is in there, like all of the minerals are in it in microscopic amounts. Like but it's the fact that they're in there with all the cofactors. That's how they work, and you get the positive results of all these different nutrients in your body. It's not any one particular nutrient on its own. So iodine is, yes, it is in the seaweeds, but it's not in massive quantities, and it's in there with all the cofactors that it needs for the body to properly assimilate and absorb and utilize it. However, if somebody really does have an issue with iodine and they're concerned about it, then it's just good to just check in with the doctor. And if you don't want to use a doctor, or you don't want to, or you can ask Dr. Wallach or somebody like that. But one of the things that we've found when people have said, I'm not sure if my doctor would feel good about me using this product, or I'm not sure if one thing that's really amazing is we've never had any contraindications with Body Balance in any kind of medication. But one of the things that we've found is that, doctors, they have a particular leaning. Sometimes they're not that open. If you come to them with a product that they're not familiar with, they have to kind of be quite conservative about it. However, we've often found that if somebody's got a question about any of the ingredients that's in Body Balance, and especially if they're on medication of any kind, is to go to a pharmacy and talk to the pharmacist about it and just ask, is there anything about this product that is going to be an issue? And especially if I'm on medication, I'm on this medication, I want to take this product. Is there any reason why I couldn't take this product while I'm on this medication? And I think you could probably ask a pharmacist about that product too, and just say, look, I have the